Zaku Baruch, good morning. We're going to discuss this morning the famous halakha that many are waiting to hear of the status of haircuts and shaving on the Omer, if it's not too late already. So, it goes as follows. During the period of the first 33 days of the Omer, Rabbi Akiva, who was the teacher of Bnei Israel at that certain period of time, this is before Mishnayot even, during the time of the Mishnayot, he had 24,000 students, and unfortunately they all perished, except for the 5 famous ones, with which he reinstituted and retaught the rest of Torah in order for it to be passed down to the rest of the Jewish people. Now, because of this period of time, 24,000 students passing away, it was a very sad time for the Jewish people, and the Jewish people took upon themselves from then on every year that they would mourn these days. These days meaning from Pesach until Lag BaOmer. Now obviously on Pesach itself we don't show any signs of mourning, even during Chol HaMoed. So during Chol HaMoed we were able to listen to music, no problem. We're talking from the day after Pesach all the way until Lag BaOmer is this period of time. So we'll speak specifically about haircuts, and we'll speak about music another time. When it comes to haircuts, the Sephardic tradition is not to get a haircut until Lamed Daled in the morning. So if Lag BaOmer is Wednesday night, May 2nd, all day May 3rd, we still should not get a haircut, and only in the morning on May 4th is the proper time to get a haircut. When I say a haircut, the haircut is the head. Okay? When it comes to the beard, when it comes to whether it's trimming or shaving, the basic halakha and the proper thing to do is to wait all the way till that date as well. Now there are certain allowances if a person feels like they will not be presentable at work, or if they feel like it's causing shalom bayit issues between them and their spouse, then there is ways to be lenient about it. And there's different steps. It doesn't mean that just because you think it's an issue for you, okay, no problem, let's just shave every day. The best thing to do would be to break up the Lag BaOmer period from after Pesach all the way till Lag BaOmer. You break it up in half. The way you break it up in half is by shaving prior to Rosh Chodesh. This year Rosh Chodesh falls out to be Sunday, Monday. So many that don't shave or cut hair on the Rosh Chodesh would already be allowed to get a haircut and shave or trim their beard. Again, we're only talking about the beard now, on this Friday. So someone who really would like to break up the Lag BaOmer period, because it might be too hard for them, they're able to this Friday to shave or trim their beard, or it would be fine to do it on Sunday, Monday if you don't have a problem, if that's not your tradition, not to cut hair on Rosh Chodesh. That would be the ideal if you need to break it up. Again, the ideal would not to break it at all. Now if that's not good enough, another tradition allows, for those again who absolutely need to shave or trim their beard, is to do so every Erev Shabbat. So this past Erev Shabbat didn't really count because it was Chol HaMoed, so it would be this week and the following week, and then already it's Lag BaOmer. That's the best. Someone who can't do with that and they need to shave every day or every other day, the concept would be to minimalize it as much as possible. Okay, I'm not coming out trying and making it very lax. Each case is different, depending on what type of business you're in, depending on your situation of shalom bayit between you and your wife. These things all take effect. It depends on how much you feel towards it. But the concept of cutting hair should not be done at all until the 34th of the month for Sfaradim and 33rd for Ashkenazim. And all we're talking about now is the leniency of trimming or shaving one's beard. Now, if one does shave or trim by or before Rosh Chodesh, they should still continue holding it until Lag BaOmer or Lamed Daled BaOmer. It doesn't mean that once you did it, it's broken. Okay, that's one thing that's important to note. Another thing that we have to understand is that cutting nails is absolutely not an issue. Fingernails, toenails, that was never part of that decree or that acceptance of tradition for the mourning. One more thing we should mention is that women also take no part in this tradition. Women already from after Pesach and the whole way through are allowed to cut their hair and trim themselves or do anything else that has to do with hair removal for women is absolutely permitted for the women, not a question at all. There's one exception for men where they would be allowed to not only trim their beard or shave their face and get a haircut, would be if they are partaking in a brit milah, which means they are either the father of the baby, or they are the nominated sandak, or they are the mohel. Those are the only allowances which not only allow one to trim their beard, but ideally trim their beard and get a haircut. It's the only acceptance because it is a Yom Tov for them. It is a very special and happy day. So this is when it comes to cutting hair. And if there's when it comes to eyebrows are the same like any other hair for men. For men, we wait until Lag Omer or Lamedalad Omer, and if it's, I guess, out of control, so then again for men you would do so as we said with those breakups as we said. Okay? Yeah.
If you do shave, are you